Hi, I'm Alex, and I want to tell you about my experience in a strange town I came across during a road trip. This small town I stopped in during my trip was surrounded by dense forest. When I stopped to buy gas and food, the gas station had no staff and the restaurant was empty, but the shop doors were open and there were people inside. Since the restaurant had a few leftovers on the table, I assumed there were people. I walked around the town, but it was strangely dark and cold, as if the sun had never risen. Then I noticed dozens of people gathered in a restaurant. I went into that restaurant. The door clanged as I entered, but no one looked at me. They were all just eating and shouting. One man watched me with his mouth full of yellow liquid. Then he said, "You look like you're from a different town. How do you know how we eat healthy here?" I approached the man, noticed that everyone in the restaurant was eating something. As I looked closer, I realized that this was the corpse of a huge, monstrous creature that I had never seen before. Yellow skin, two huge snake heads, and a huge body 7 feet high. I screamed, but the people didn't care. They just kept eating like crazy. I asked the man what had happened, and he rolled up his sleeves and showed me. "Look at this," he said, his muscles suddenly bulging unbelievably. I was dumbfounded, and all of a sudden he grabbed me by the collar, lifted me up to the ceiling. I screamed in shock. He picked me up like a toy and threw me on the floor. I was in a panic, and he laughed. "I can feel the power to tear you apart with my own hands. This meat gave me that power. Do you want to take a bite? How much money do you have?" I examined the faces of the people one by one. Their eyes were all red and bloodshot. The muscles all over their bodies were so swollen that their clothes looked like they were going to fall apart. I said I only wanted to use the gas station and the restaurant. Food is just garbage. If you want to eat healthy, you should eat something like this, he said. I felt very angry and just left the restaurant. After waiting for a while, the gas station staff came and told me, "Never tell anyone what you see here." I asked why, and he replied, "This is a rare case because there are only a few, only we can eat them." As he said this, muscles contracted throughout his body and he breathed heavily. I left town in great confusion, and it seemed like I would never go back. However, a few years later I stopped by the town on another trip. However, unlike my past visit, the village was completely empty. There seemed to be no one on the streets. All the houses, shops, and restaurants seemed to have been dilapidated long ago. Once again I was stunned, and when I asked about the town in another village, I heard that the people in the town had been attacked and killed by something unknown. Even more horrifying was that all the bodies were found with no flesh, bones, and internal organs except the skin, but the police said they could never identify what made them that way. The only evidence was the unknown yellow liquid that was buried all over the town, and the footprint of a giant creature. But the origin of these prints has not been identified and is still unresolved. I was horrified by this. I wanted to share what I saw, but my body shook violently and I couldn't speak at all. I still get goosebumps when I think about what happened in that town. Thank you for watching the video, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel and like the video.